Tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hello, AfterBuzzers! You are watching the AfterBuzz TV After Show for MTV Scream, Season 1, Episode 2. I'm your host today, Kylie Hodges, filling in for Jason Eichler. He will be back next week. He had a nasty yoga injury, unfortunately. Get better, Jason. And I'm so excited to introduce our guest this week. You might recognize him on the show as Will. We've got Connor Weil in the studio!
Good to be here.
And who are my beautiful co-hosts?
Hello, everybody. I'm Lauren Salaun, and you can find me on Twitter at Lauren Salaun. I'm sure it's right down there.
Hey, I'm Kelly McInerney, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Holly Weirdo.
Hi, guys. I'm Katie Campbell, and you can find me on Twitter at Katie Campbell. That's Katie with 3 E's Campbell.
And you can tweet at me on Twitter at the Kylie Hodges, and you can use the hashtag ABTVScream to talk about the show. Connor, thank you so much for coming to the studio today.
It's such a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
We had you in here while we were watching the show, and I was a little nervous to react because
I figured I felt like the silence come over everybody. I was like, okay, how do you really feel about it?
How does it feel? Have you been watching the show with family and friends, or are you watching it alone? How do you watch it?
It goes back and forth. I had a little get together with all my friends last week for the premiere, and everybody was really supportive and oohing and ahhing and like, oh, I don't like her. I was like, calm down, guys. I know them as my friends. And then, it just hanging out with the friends while doing it is the best part about it. You get to hear their reactions. It's the best.
Overall, what's the kind of fan reactions that you're getting so far about the show?
Strictly love at this point. Everybody's so excited about it and like theorizing. I've gotten tweets of like 300-digit like theories of like, I think it's this so-and-so. And I'm like, great, keep them coming because I want to know too. Let me know what you think.
Ooh, interesting. Yeah. So there's a lot of unanswered questions.
That's right.
Well, let's go right into this episode. The episode was called Hello, Emma. And I want to talk about the end right away, but I feel like we should start at the beginning. There's a death right away. I'm seeing a theme with this show that we kick it off with a death.
That's right.
Quite a bummer of a...
Well, they say you can't do a slasher movie as a TV series. Well, we'll just draw out the really horrific...
Yeah.
Your guys' reactions were perfect. In the studio, you're like, wait, no! It's like, we want that. That's what we want from you guys over and over and over again.
Yeah, I think they're doing a really good job of making this last as a TV show. I know that might be a little premature because it's only episode 2, but I know you guys are a little more well versed in the Scream movies.
Yeah.
But those movies, there's so many. Mm-hmm. So I feel like this is one of those things that you could keep going.
Yeah, I feel like also, like I said last episode, I feel like it mixes all of the Screams together. You know how like the last one had a lot of like about social media and videotaping and stuff. Like the fourth one, I feel like that's incorporated in here, but also like the basics of the first Scream. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of the Scream franchise. I think with the number one, they, obviously kind of rewrote the genre a bit for slasher films. And I think they're doing a good job so far, keeping us on our toes. Some points get a little predictable, but even those moments when you feel like it's going to be predictable, they kind of switch it up on you. So I think they're doing a good job of putting it to the TV screen.
And I like that they're drawing out the deaths more because... That's what Noah said in the first one, like, you want to like these people, develop
But it's going to be so hard when they actually die.
Yeah.
But I like it, but I want to know more. And every single episode, I have a new person. I'm like, it's definitely them.
Yeah.
Interesting. So who do you feel is Brandon James today?
Okay, so the first episode, I thought it was maybe Audrey.
Okay.
I was it was her.
All right.
Yeah.
And this whole episode, I can't even take him seriously. The sheriff. It's the sheriff.
So that's good. See, I haven't got a lot of people asking about the sheriff. But I was like, it's Emma or it's Jake and it's never the adults. That's very good.
It's the sheriff, and he's pulling something over on the mom, Daisy. Because maybe he's Troy. I don't know. But I think it's him, and the mom's telling him everything. I'm like, why are you telling him everything?
Well, they're dating.
But still, now that's how he knows what's going on.
Mistrust everywhere.
Yeah, shoot.
By the end of this episode, part of me was thinking it was Kevin, her dad, Emma's dad.
Yeah.
How wild would that be if it's like, I'm daddy and I'm a killer?
Because last
you
week,
don't know anything.
Yeah, last week we found out obviously that he was the only, or he had been stabbed during the the murders that happened, but it didn't totally clarify whether or not he survived that until
they said it today.
Yeah, and
I hope it's not though, because I want it to be somebody that I know. Like I feel like that would make a bigger impact than just like, oh, that guy. Oh.
Yeah.
Would have never guessed that.
He might
never got to know him, so.
I don't know. I think Kieran made a great point saying that it was you, that you tried to like.
That made me.
That made me the jock? The lovable jock? No.
But what if it was Kieran saying that this is, what he did, but this is really me in the shadows. But then I'm going to make it seem
made me suspicious of Kieran, because I'm like, okay, I get that's a good theory. If you have a really twisted mind of how to get your girlfriend to like you again, scare the crap out of her.
Yeah.
We all have our ways.
Yeah. He really needed
went,
his mojo for the game. He had to pull some desperate measures, I guess.
Yeah, gotta do what you gotta do. By the way, I love this. This is what we want. We want you theorizing. We want you, because it switches every episode, like you were saying. It's really, we like to take you on that ride of like, hold on, come over here, follow the hand. Nope, I'm glad you guys are falling into it.
Were you guys surprised that Rachel was killed? Of all people?
I mean, we saw the preview last episode, so no.
I didn't watch the I avoid previews because I like to go into it blind.
The one that they showed that Rachel did die.
Yeah. The next one, they didn't show a death.
Right.
No.
So who is it going to be?
Yeah. That'll be surprising.
I want theories.
We all look at Connor. Who is it
who's going to be?
I feel like it could be Kieran.
I think it's Brooke, hands down. In her little lingerie thing.
That's too easy.
No, she's going to die.
The sexy killer? Is that
remember the rules, in Scream, and I think Noah even probably said them again. If you're having sex or you're, virgins are safe, but if you have sex during all this going on, you're going to die sort of thing. They're just going to, I think she's got it.
I thought she was going to go in the first episode.
In the garage.
Yeah. And she's like that classic, like, kind of porny character, like the sexy, not the brightest girl. So it's usually the dumber and hotter you are, the sooner you die.
She's definitely not going to survive till the end, I feel like.
Okay.
Just keep looking at Connor to read his face.
I know, you can read all you want. Well, the deal is the stereotypes are there, and that's what we love, is you can all connect with the stereotypes. But we're going to drag them and extend them because we have more than 2 hours per film. We have 10 hours of a series, so we're going to really draw them out, and you'll get to really see the different sides of them, and people are going to change and shift, and
That's interesting that you say that, because this time you could see when Brooke was kind of apologizing to Emma, she seemed like she was a good person. She's not just this girl who's, stupid and slutty and whatever. She's has a heart, and she was really sorry. I felt like she was really sorry. She didn't tell. She was scared of Nina, so that's interesting that you say that, because we can see multiple sides of people.
Right. We have a bit more time for character development in this format.
Absolutely.
I'm thinking about this whole teacher fling with Brooke. It's raunchy. I mean,
that whole situation at the candy bar. God.
Yeah, like she's like playing with that Twizzler at the basketball game in front of everybody, talking to the teacher at the concession stand, and I'm like, girl, you are being very obvious right now.
Seriously.
I feel like one of those two will die while they're hooking up.
Oh, that's good.
Like during a hookup, like a sex death. Someone turns around to take off their shirt, and they turn around, the other person has like a knife in their back or something.
No, it's been done. You're absolutely right. It's totally a thing. Yeah.
So just like one of them, though, and the other one gets away?
I think I'm sorry.
And then eventually dies.
Yeah.
I feel like they're all doomed. Those two, I feel like, are not going to make it to the end.
Right. All these questionable life choices they're making. Someone's got to pay.
So, Connor, can you tell us, what was your favorite part about shooting this show?
Well, my favorite part for the whole show was working with the cast. I mean, literally halfway through the first day of shooting ever, we became best friends. So we're always joking, always having a good time. anytime anybody has like an emotional scene or something bad is happening, like we like feel for each other. We're like, man, I'm sorry, man. He's like, that's fine. We're like, I know, but I just feel for you. So really, the best part is working with people who you're super good friends with. I mean, everybody is amazing. It's really unique. It's really strange that it's working out so well.
Did you know the ending before like you started working with them, or was it like the show, like, oh, you're my friend, and then at the end you find out
like one episode at a time?
Yeah.
Receiving a script one episode at a time?
Yeah, they haven't told us anything.
Wow.
We've asked the writers.
Even for certain shows that wrap, they'll sometimes shoot a few different endings so that stars can't, nobody can leak it too sometimes. So.
Nobody knows. You can drill anybody. Nobody, except for the writers.
Right.
Nobody knows, and they make sure we're in the dark.
Keep it locked down.
That's
They don't
right.
want any spoilers getting out there.
That's
If
right.
nobody knows, who do you think it is?
Man, I really hope it's me.
That'd be a lot of fun.
I really hope it's me. It'd be the best. Are you kidding me? That would be so cool. The hate tweets I get.
I know.
Such a good attitude about hate
Right?
tweets. I've never heard anybody be like, I want hate tweets.
I would just laugh. I think it'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think it'd be really fun to die, though. In a horror movie?
Yeah.
Because it's accentuated. Yeah, it's not just like you die. It's like got to be gory.
Blood is going to be everywhere.
Yeah.
You get a cool fight scene out of it. I feel
know.
like that, like fight struggling on stage could be kind of fun.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Getting fake blood poured on you. I mean,
Right.
Yeah.
When else in life?
Letting out a good,
Why not?
solid scream.
Go for it.
Who was the set prankster? I feel like there's always one on every show.
Prankster.
Yeah.
Oh man, it would probably be Tom, who plays Jake.
Okay.
He's
prankstery.
Yeah, he's prankstery, and he was always like, be like, who? Tom. Yeah. So if anybody were considered the prankster, it'd be Tom. For
Tom.
Sure. Love
Tom did it again.
Love you, Tom.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, do you ever, because when I'm watching a show like this or any sort of horror, I imagine, okay, I take myself out of the actual viewing experience a little and be like, I get that there's a whole crew right now filming this and people around, but some of those situations would be a little scary even to act in. Were there ever moments where you kind of felt like a little creeped out, or other people? I know we haven't seen any with you where you're not with Will necessarily getting scared yet, but
Oh, yeah.
Well, absolutely. Even that scene that we saw where Will and Emma are in the coffee shop, like lights are off. Like, cameras aren't necessarily like in your face, so you're just kind of like, this is really
a little eerie.
scary.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it's totally a ride. We're freaked out.
Yeah.
Have you had any nightmares or creepy dreams since you shot the show?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Oh yeah. I mean, you're.
Are you comfortable talking about them, or are they still like scary?
No, they're
Okay.
fine. You wake up and you're like, what was that? Like, you're more confused. You're just like, why would I? I'm I'm way too into my character. You're like, oh, that's becoming real. But no, they make it very real. Especially when you're working with people who you love that much. Like, it really boils down to really hitting you deep. So it's gonna be a crazy ride this season. It's gonna be crazy.
Are you still filming now? Like, are you still doing the episodes, or?
Oh, we finished up our season. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
So season 1's already completed, and we're just waiting for season 2 to
So
come in.
you say you hope you're the killer, so you don't. If the season's finished.
I said we're gonna try and drag this out. It's not one and done. This is a mini series. What are we talking about here?
MTV's gonna leave us with the most horrific cliffhanger. I know it. Yeah. And we are gonna be in so much turmoil. This after show is gonna be 2 hours for the finale. We're just gonna be so pissed. That's always how it goes.
It's gonna be just processing. Just like, this is awful. Can't wait.
So when we were watching this episode with you, and it was the basketball scene, you were joking that it took you 15 tries to make that
Not even
three-pointer?
kidding. Oh yes. So all day I was practicing, and we were rehearsing with the team, and we were getting everybody set, running the plays, and every time I try to make the three and miss horrifically. And I've been working all week too, and I'm like, what's wrong with me today? Like, I can do this. And everyone was like, you're gonna make it. You're gonna make it. And I was like, maybe, yeah, I think so too. You're gonna make it. So then we start shooting, and I'm missing, and it's hard when you have to make a shot and then celebrate with the team, because if you miss it and you still have to celebrate, everyone's like, yeah, great. So finally, after about probably it was more like 4 or 5 takes, but with the rehearsal it was probably close to 15. I just got in the zone, threw up, and made nothing but net. And there was no acting going on. It was like the whole team turned up. We were so excited. And then the take after that, I made 2. So 2 in a row.
Nice.
Down. And then after that, I missed a couple times. I'm like, I got it. As long as you got it, like, camera's rolling, I'm good. I was so excited.
How great that you got that on camera. You can always tell people now, like, I'm a star athlete.
That's right.
Yeah.
Watch Scream.
Just give me 15 tries and I'll make that ooh. No problem.
No one else needs to know.
That's
except
right.
everyone who's listening.
That's right.
I'm really fascinated by how the killer in this show is using social media. The whole GIF, I don't know how to say it, GIF.
We've discussed this on set. It's a big debate. Whether
What do
it's
you think?
GIF or
GIF.
Apparently it's GIF.
What?
It is.
Apparently so.
I thought it was
I
GIF.
love calling it GIF because it's a graphic in... It's like
Interface
something. It's an
file
acronym
or
for something.
yeah.
So
But
the G sound with the graphic makes sense, but apparently it's GIF. The creators call it GIF.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It was
Yeah.
my inner nerd. Every time I'm like, everyone, oh gosh, they said it again.
That's funny.
I thought it was GIF.
I did too.
Soft
I'm
G.
with you,
I
Kate.
think I say GIF.
Like the
I don't
peanut
know.
butter.
No.
Now I'm getting like confused when you hear both ones. You're like, wait,
know.
how do I say it? I don't know.
So weird.
So the killer sends out, he like mass texts everybody at the school.
Yeah.
Payback's a bitch. And took a selfie with Nina's dead body in the
great?
pool. What? WTF?
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
What a perverted killer to be like, oh, hang on.
Yeah.
I gotta get the right
Exactly.
angle.
Probably took him about 30 minutes to get that shot. It was pretty well timed.
Yeah.
It was like perfect. She's kind
Half
of
my
floating
mask.
there.
That's right. Adjusting it like,
The lighting was great too for nighttime. You know.
I know. He did it well.
He got all the numbers in the school though, so
Yeah.
it's like, okay, teacher could have access to that, but the sheriff could as well, because the sheriff
wow.
did it.
More to your theory. That's good. Now we're feeding
I
her.
like that.
Well, part of the reason why I do that actually is because this new generation of Scream that we're trying to incorporate, to make it scary for this generation, we need to hit them at home.
right.
So with the social media, it's like, oh, my Twitter account can be traced back to me. Like, that's freaky. Like, makes you think a little bit.
I kind of appreciate the writers and the killer, I guess, for going that route, which makes me now feel 100 years old, because I'm like, kids these days and their social media, like doing, like, putting anything out there and just being a little nonchalant about that stuff. I'm like, yeah, you could die because of what you tweet. Not really, but
Right.
it makes you think twice about it.
Right.
Maybe.
Makes you afraid of
maybe
the
I'm like
internet.
putting too much into it.
I'm sure my mom's really grateful. I feel like parents are always like, yeah, you just should be afraid of the internet. And here we are as millennials, we're like tweeting about it. Whatever, Mom. Whatever you say. So I really like this Riley Noah nerd dynamic.
So cute, right?
Very cute.
They're adorable.
But I was
love
getting
that.
very stressed. I thought Noah was a goner for a second on that football field.
No.
I kept thinking he was gonna because we just saw a silhouette of him, and then we'd have a close up and like a big wide shot. I thought his head or something was gonna get him.
He can't die yet. He's
No,
the
I know,
Randy.
but I was just so nervous.
He's like the
He can't die what-
narrator.
That's true.
You know, we have to have him. We can't lose him.
Yeah.
Or
Right.
can we?
No. I mean, he did say anybody is fair game, but he's not going.
Not yet.
Not
At
yet,
least.
anyways.
It's too early.
Interesting. Do you guys think that we're gonna get a relationship out of Riley and Noah, or do you think something's gonna fizzle real quick?
There's something gonna steam up at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Relationship for sure.
Yeah.
I'm nervous about Riley getting
Why?
killed.
Because she's one of the side friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's like the posse. Like she's in Emma's posse. I feel like Emma
Right.
would, if Emma dies, she'll die
She's
after
like a
all of her
second
friends.
layer.
Yeah.
I think that
Interesting.
Brooke will go before Riley, but Riley would go before Noah.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta make a list.
How we doing, Connor?
I mean, I'm just loving this. This is great. I'm like, ooh, interesting.
But
Interesting.
I like her. I like both of them a lot. I mean, I like Noah's being our, voice of reason and laying out the law of how things are supposed to go, and Riley with her like sarcasm and dorkiness.
Yeah,
and
she really owned
they're
that
just-
relationship,
yeah.
didn't she? Yeah, that was really. I remember. I
Popular
think we
girl
saw.
with brains,
It's great.
Who knew?
But I don't know if I would use "Are You a Virgin" as my like lead into to kissing somebody, but
Well, I think if you do that many attempts to get him to kiss you and he still doesn't, it's like
Yeah, he's
okay,
clueless.
wait.
She's like, okay, got it. This makes sense.
My favorite line of this episode was when she offered to watch Terminator with him, and he goes, "Yeah, or you can borrow my Blu-ray." Like the
God
look of
bless him.
defeat on her face was just like, "Oh God, he's so bad at this."
But it was actually kind of
cute.
cute.
It was very
Sweet,
cute.
right?
It was really cute.
Such an innocent little
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Convenience. Trying to make it easy
Did
for
you
her.
Right.
guys think like, oh, he could be the killer because he was so into this, Brandon?
He has a weird look sometimes on his when he gets into talking about it.
Crazy ass.
So it's a possibility.
Totally.
I think, yeah.
I feel like the minute a character becomes a suspect, they're no longer it. Because the sheriff is suspicious of him.
Yeah, but the sheriff is suspicious of him because he's wondering if he's on his trail.
You are dead set. I love it.
Interesting.
I love it.
I also think, I mean, they're playing it up as he's the expert. So, and for fans of original Scream, we're like, well, duh, he's not the killer. He's the Randy guy, you know? So we're writing him off as being the dorky guy, know-it-all guy who obviously isn't going to be the bad guy, but it would be like, what an obvious twist if they're like, psych,
That's
he was
cool.
there the whole time telling you what his plans were.
Yeah.
That would be rude.
Interesting.
Oh, like kind of a slap in the face.
Yeah.
But, you know, yeah, totally.
I just think everybody is up in the a possibility, pretty much.
You could make some kind of a reason for everyone.
Yeah.
I want to know what you guys think about this whole fake text message from Emma getting sent to Will to come to the coffee shop.
I think Will just sent it real fast and been like, "Look, you just sent me this text."
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think think you're the killer.
Swiped her phone.
Wow,
You
I'm
and
honored.
Jake. You and Jake.
Thank you.
I think there's two killers. I think Jake helps you out.
Wow.
He was a guy in the alley trying to scare her.
Totally.
Oh, yeah, we never really did see who was
Yeah.
sitting on the ground.
Ooh, and he said, did it work? So it could have been him in the alley.
Yeah.
You know, but something about him, though, Jake is too, like, he's got so much rage, and I think that video that reporter took is going to go viral when they think, oh, we might have a serial killer on the loose, and all of a sudden, oh, it's maybe Jake because the video went viral, but I just think it's too obvious to be him.
I agree.
He's a little broy, and he is a second-tier friend, too. He's not one of the main...
Yeah.
I feel like with him, he might be a little too dumb to be the killer.
Sounds like Matthew Lillard in Scream 1. I'm just saying.
Tie-in.
Wow.
Throwback.
I know.
I just got some knowledge served.
Dropped.
Touche. I'm really liking the relationship dynamics here of, you know, are they on, are they off, and how it's kind of catty right now with you and Emma. You know, she
yeah.
slept with Kieran, and she doesn't
Kissed.
Or, you're right, she just kissed him in the greenhouse.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
And then threw it
who
in my
knows?
face. Threw it
That's
in
all
Will's
we
face.
saw.
Yeah.
Emma
She
getting
kissed
sassy.
Kieran. Yeah, and she told Will she doesn't feel bad about it.
She
No.
shouldn't.
Go for it.
I'm just saying,
Go
I don't believe Will when he says he only slept with Nina once.
Interesting.
Okay.
Do you
Never.
think that was because he apologized? Yeah, he was like, I like you.
It felt
That was
sincere.
a one-time thing,
Well,
but
I
I'm
mean,
focused on you.
Now he can't have sex with her because she's dead. So of course she's gonna go back to the girl. He's gonna go back to the girlfriend.
Straight dog over here.
We saw the sneaky video footage that Jake did not destroy. So there could be video proof of some of Will's indiscretions with Nina.
Yeah.
tell us about Will. Defend Will.
Yeah,
okay.
Describe him
All
to
right.
us.
Well,
Who is he? Who is Will?
Yes. Well, I think Jake, if you remember, Jake was talking about how Nina was like a sexual sniper.
Right.
And when Will and Emma were going on a break, I mean, Will's very, very passionate. So he can get pretty emotional pretty quick. I think it was just somebody in the time of need when he was
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm over. This is awful. My juju's gone from basketball. And, you know what I mean? Like, high school guys aren't quite processed fully in that area. So they just need instant... You know, so that's how I'm going to defend Will in this case. I think
We were on a break.
Break. Classic line. It's just, it never works. My advice to every high school guy: don't ever use that. It never works. Never works.
Are there any like little hidden gems or Easter eggs recurring throughout the show that we might not notice right away, or something kind of unique about the show that we should be paying attention to?
I'm trying to think. You're pretty much getting it, like the show is so well done that you're supposed to catch what you're supposed to catch.
Yeah.
And if you don't, it'll pop up when you least expect it. So really, there's nothing that I can tell you to like keep your head on, because you're already there. You just let it happen.
Where do you guys film this show?
In Louisiana. And I think the reason for that, again, talking about like how the social media thing, where it's like, wow, yeah, that's kind of out my back door. Louisiana has very much that feel of it could be small town America or anywhere, really. Yeah. So it's kind of that really eerie feeling of like, this is my hometown, and you know, like this could be my town. Oof, that's freaky. So
that is freaky.
Yeah, we like to play with you a little bit. Oof.
What time of year were you guys down there filming? It wasn't summer, was it?
No, it wasn't deep summer.
Thank God.
We would have died. We were already dying. It was like springtime. We were already dying.
Was that your first time in Louisiana?
Yeah, it was.
What did you think?
I loved it. You know what? Like, New Orleans is so great. We got to go down to New Orleans a lot, and it's such a cultural history down there. I mean, it's incredible. You just feel it. It vibrates. It's really cool. I
think it's really appropriate that they filmed the show in Louisiana, because in all the in most horror movies, it's always like, you know, you're in a dark woods and it's kind of swampy or whatever. And I used to be a huge True Blood fan, and that took place in Louisiana as well. And it kind of has that same vibe where, you know, Sookie's always lost in a random woods, and then like a werewolf shows up or something. So how fitting that all these really crazy things are happening in Louisiana.
Right. I mean,
I love that state, but this is making me want to avoid it. I want to get
it's deep, dark, and swampy.
Murder.
Yeah.
Before we go into predictions, do we want to grill Connor with any last questions? What can we get out of you for the upcoming episodes? Is there anything you can tell us about next week?
Well, let's think. You know what? Like, this episode really has set it up very nicely for all the relationships you've talked about, all the things you're trying to see more of. They're going to get answered more and more in the next episode. We really start to dive in from this point on into what's really going on behind everything. And some people will be spared. Some people will go deeper in the hole. It's not literally, figuratively. Sometimes literally. And yeah, it's just the ride is there for you. You know, so you'll get a lot of your questions answered.
I want to bring you back at like the end of the season, you know, once that we've learned more, because then I feel like we can be like, man, I told you that was going to happen.
I know, that would be awesome. Let's do it.
Like a prediction hash out.
Like, validate all of our theories.
For sure.
So you may not be able to tell us, but aside from Emma's dad and Brandon James, because I want to, you know, those, you know, could make an appearance at some point. Will there be any new characters that we haven't already met? If you can tell us. If you can't, it's fine. But
most of the time, we're sticking to whom you've seen so far and diving into those characters.
All right.
We got Piper this week.
This week.
She seems like she's going to be prevalent.
Right.
She might be crucial.
I loved that little serial kind of tie-in sort of thing.
Yeah, she's like Gail, but updated. You know, like, who watches the news anymore? We all listen to podcasts.
Yeah, we all listen to Serial.
True. Yeah.
There's also going to be Troy, though, at some point, if that's not the sheriff already. I have a feeling.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
The brother.
Yes.
Yep. Brother James's brother.
Yeah.
Well, then.
We'll see.
We'll keep our eyes peeled.
That's right.
On Piper and Troy. Yeah. All right, let's go into predicciones.
Okay. And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
I want to start with you, Katie, because I feel like you're just theorizing up the yin-yang over there.
I am. Okay, so I think that the sheriff might be the killer. He might be Troy. And I mean, in the phone call that we heard in the end with Emma, we had him say that she had two-faced friends, whore of a mother, and fraud of a family. I don't think her dad is her dad, because I feel like at some point this mother slept with Brandon James.
Yes, that's what I wrote too. That's what I wrote too.
Or
so do you think she was?
You're all on the same wavelength. This is weird.
Or like maybe even some kind of twins, the ones that are not identical, they're fraternal twins, or something with Audrey, because why did Audrey have a picture of Brandon James behind the picture of her and Emma? That's why I was like, who was Audrey in the first episode? But, you know, I can't even look at this sheriff seriously. I can't take him seriously.
On it, okay.
So do you think that Emma's mom slept with Brandon James and was pregnant when he got shot?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
For sure.
Wow.
Because her dad's not her dad. Her dad will come into the picture, but it's not her dad.
Yeah.
Fraud of a family.
Oh.
Fraud of a family.
That really,
guys.
that
This is
you
real.
got me. I'm silent right now. I'm really thinking about that. That's a good one.
That's what I put too. That was it. Yep. Brandon James's kid. That's what I wrote.
Yeah.
But I mean, you went and did.
This is like soap opera now. Like I know. There's a lot
Who's
of
gonna be in a
sleeping.
coma next week?
Yeah. Brandon James is in a coma and still killing people. How did he do it?
Talk to me, doctor. What does this mean?
All right, go for it.
My turn.
Yeah.
So I too think that Brandon James is possibly Emma's real dad, and potentially that her dad, Mr. Duval, could have something to do with it all. And I think that we are going to see Brooke. I'm going to get bold and say that Brooke is dead next week.
I agree.
Poor Brooke. She loves Twizzlers.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm
She
gonna
loves
stay
Twizzlers.
with it. Yeah. I hold.
I don't know how I feel anymore. You know, you guys have really opened my mind today. I've changed my mind like 30,000 times. I'm gonna stick with Kevin, the dad, is the killer as of right now. We'll see about next week. I don't
You can
know.
always change. You're not locked into these. You can always change.
Well, and I'm trying to figure out what this secret. I'm trying to make a prediction about what her mom's secret could be, but that would tie into Katie's prediction. So maybe she was pregnant back when Brandon James got killed. I don't know. We'll see. Or supposedly killed.
Because we only heard the story from Noah about, the recap of it, and we saw those little flashbacks, but we didn't really know the actual story because we didn't get it from Daisy or Brandon.
I also predict that Tyler O'Neill's body and or head will make a cameo.
Tyler
eventually.
Right,
Because his head was not found with Nina's body, so where did it go?
and they're looking for him.
Which, how did they not find other people's blood? You know what I mean?
Just
They
Does
missed it.
chlorine
They
get rid
missed-
of that?
They missed Tyler's blood.
Yeah,
Right,
it had to be
when
a little
it landed
messy.
in the pool, right?
You
He
know?
could have done it somewhere else.
Yeah, because
Kept it in
where
a nice
we don't know
little
where he was
cooler.
killed, really.
Yeah, it might
the
have been
car.
like the car. Yeah. Well, they found the
Where's
car
the
though.
car?
They found the car parked in front. That's what they said. So it had to be outside the car.
Somewhere else, stuck
You're
in a
very
cooler
good
in a
listeners.
bag.
But they never said that they found blood in the car, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Right.
saying. So it has to be somewhere else.
Whoa.
This is going to keep me up at night, Connor.
Oh, I'm glad.
Can I say one more prediction?
Please do.
So I definitely think we're dealing with at least 2 killers, maybe 3. So I'm gonna put it out there because
Whoa, like a gang of
Scream.
killers.
The thing with Scream is that the whole big revolutionary thing they did with the movie was 2 killers, not 1. No one had done that before, so I feel like they're gonna one up themselves.
Yeah.
Mathematically speaking, and go with 3.
We're gonna add one.
I agree
Maybe
too.
some multiply 'em.
Yeah.
Watch out.
I agree too with at least 2 of them because apparently somebody commented on the last episode that we did that the third one, because it was only 1 killer in the third movie, but it was supposed to be 2. So it's gonna be at least 2.
Yeah, I think at least 2. I'm going for 3. I'm gonna
Yeah.
get bold.
Okay.
Did you watch all the Scream movies before you started filming this?
I'd seen the original.
Okay.
And then when I got it, I was kind of at a, do I watch them? Do I not? Because I want to kind of keep this my own.
Yeah.
It's such a.
Yeah.
So I've seen a little bit of the third. I'm making my way through them. But I really kind of wanted to keep it you know what? I'm gonna take this one and the new way, and then I'll go back and rewatch. You know.
The first is the best
Yeah.
anyway.
Third's the worst too. Don't watch the third.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fourth is pretty good.
Fourth is pretty good. Good to know. Good to know. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, Connor, it was lovely to have you in studio.
This was the best. Thank you so much for letting me
Thanks
crash your
so
party
much.
and watch with you guys.
so
It was the
fun.
best.
Do you have anything coming up that you want to tell us about?
I'm in the works for a couple things. You know, we're getting back into it and seeing what's coming up next. We're waiting on to hear about season 2,
Ooh, fingers
which
crossed.
would be so cool.
Yeah.
So keep watching, guys. We appreciate your support and love, and
Yeah.
we'll see what happens.
Tell everybody where they can find you on social media.
Yeah, so I'm on Twitter at Connor Weil. That's CONNORWEIL. Kind of a weird spelling. And on Instagram at Connor Weil as well.
Great.
There you
And
go.
Katie, where can everyone find you?
You can find me on Twitter at KatieEE Campbell. That's Katie with 3 E's. Campbell. Instagram at KatieCampbell13 and YouTube.com/KatieCampbellOnline. I have a weekly vlog.
Woohoo. I'm Kelly McInerney. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram and Periscope at HollyWeirdo.
Awesome. And I'm Lauren Salaun. That's Salaun. And pretty much all of them. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Periscope, YouTube. There we go.
Guys, I love talking about my feelings on Twitter. Tweet at me your feelings at the Kylie Hodges, and on Instagram, just at Kylie Hodges. Thank you guys so much for coming in, and again, Connor, so great to have you here.
Thank you so much.
Join us next week, and we will continue recapping Scream. Bye, guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.